Hello everyone. Welcome back to our Q&A series with Alumni. So today we have Bhupesh, who is SDE at Thomson Reuters, right? Today he's our guest and he's going to talk about his journey, how he got into the company, his first company, and Thomson Reuters, right? So let me just invite him in and we can begin with the session.
Yeah,
कैसे हो आप?
I'm good. What about you?
I'm doing great. How was your day?
Yeah, it was good. It's weekend, so yeah, it's just a rest day.
It's a rest day. Oh,
Yeah,
nice. Nice to hear that. So, how's it going? How's everything?
yeah. So it's going pretty decent and it's in a flow. So
Okay.
it's good.
Okay.
It's good to be be here and to help you around, to help students around.
That's really great to hear. Actually, that's all our sessions are all about, alumni sessions, to help student
Yeah,
community and who's looking for the help, right? So, before moving forward with the session, can you please give a little bit of introduction about yourself, right?
yeah.
Can you introduce
So
yourself?
Yeah, so hi, as you know, my name is Bhupesh and I've been working since from past 3 years, almost 3 years. So I joined my first internship in June and 2.5 years of full-time experience. So I graduated in computer science and engineering from Lovely Professional University in 2022. So I'm a 22 graduate. I'm not that old. So yeah,
Mhm.
and I'm currently working in as a software engineer in Thomson Reuters, where I handle there is one of the leading products they have a Westlaw, which is currently working on the Gen AI. So that's all.
Gen AI, very interesting.
Yeah,
It's
it's
very
in the
popular
hot seat.
nowadays, no?
Yeah, it's
It's
a
very,
very hot seat right now.
actually, even I have heard of so many things about Gen AI. Even there are so many subjects around Gen AI in the colleges also, right?
Yeah, right now I don't know because at my time there wasn't any.
It,
That we are going for the basic machine learning and stuff, but right now it might be.
okay. Yeah. So thank you for introducing Bhupesh, right? So let's begin with the session. Okay.
Yeah.
So how were your college days? क्या था कॉलेज में कैसे थे एंड फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल पहले तो यू कैन टेल लाइक स्टूडेंट थे तो स्टूडेंट वाला फेस अ लिटिल बिट एंड हाउ यू गॉट टू नो कि यू वांट टू बिकम अ सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपर है ना और कॉलेज में जो आपको डिग्री चाहिए थी रिलेटेड टू सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट के लिए ऑब्वियसली कंप्यूटर साइंस एंड आईटी होता है तो आपको कैसे पता चला यू वांट दैट एंड व्हाट्स द जर्नी कॉलेज की तो थोड़ा सा उसके बारे में बताएंगे.
So I go starting from the basics. So uh, when I was in ninth or tenth, at that time I got a smartphone and I got used to WhatsApp and Hike and different messengers. So I was always curious about computers because like when I was in sixth standard, my father got me a computer. So I was curious from that stage that how the programs are made, how the things are working. I want to work on that. At that time I had just a curiosity, but I never thought I will do like this. So the path is 11 12 you go to the journey for the JE and then you select the college. And once I selected the LPU, so I went into the LPU and to be honest, I learned a little bit of programming because I love to before joining the college. So that was a bit of advantage for me, that how the C language, how the basics of programming works. And when I joined it, it was quite a fun. There are a lot of seniors who helped me in the whole journey, and there are a lot of teachers, alumni, a lot of people who are who will be with you in every time. So
Correct.
in the first year when we joined, we have a basics every college at that time of period of time. Right now, I don't know the curriculum, but at that point of time, we have C, C++, and the basic programming languages and the basic engineering stuff like all the drawing, engineering drawing, physics, math, all the things we have in the first year.
Oh,
So
mhm.
in the first two semesters, I got a hands on how things are working, how people are doing, what the seniors are studying. So at that time, yeah, so we used to watch on YouTube on different journeys about that, how people are doing. So we grasped the basics of programming, that how the programming works initially in the, and then in the when we come into the second year, we got to introduce with the core subjects, the data structure and algorithms, the operating system, networking. That's the core subject, that's the fundamentals, like
Correct.
actually how the programming works, how the computer works. That's the, so that is the very crucial point of time of each and every engineer to grasp that at that point of time. Because right now everything is in hot topic. People, when I was in college, I was very curious about how Google is doing, what the new technology coming into the picture. But to understand that phase, you need to go through these all important subjects because they are the core. So
Updated with the technologies. What's
yeah,
going on?
yeah, what's going on? But a lot of times people lose the track on the core subjects, that because of
Correct.
that.
Hmm.
So the core
And
subject, it might be, I, to every each and every individual who are in first year or second year, I want to say that focus on the core subjects. I will tell you more about how to do that, but I will say focus on the core subject, the OS, the networking, the DBMS. These are the core ones, and the data structures. These are the core ones which will really help you in every phase of your life. Even though I'm right now 3 years of experience, I do get the OS challenges, the DB challenges everywhere. The DB challenges are very
still,
common, very real.
still
Yeah,
you update yourself.
sorry.
Still you update yourself with the core subjects which you have learned in the past as well.
Yeah, it's the basic. The basic will never go away. Yeah, the technology can change, but basics will never go away.
Basic things. Correct.
Yeah, so the basic, like the data structure, the data structures, or what we say, the DBMS we use in real life, the day-to-day real life, the DBMS is the most common part. So how the DBs are working, what are the like DBs functionalities, so basic things. And even though it will help you in the longer journey, the interview preparation, but when you are in the first year or second year, don't think more about the interview preparation. Think about as a core subject that you need to understand and grasp the things on the core deeper way. What in the third year you can do that. So when I joined in the third year, so I have a specialization in machine learning. So at that point of time, I lost the core subject part and then went into the machine learning part. But when the placement came nearby, everyone is asking DSA, DBMS, the core subjects, everyone is asking that. So if you
Hmm.
have hands on that, you can grab any company, any internship that I can see. I have a lot of friends and people who are working in either in Google, either in Amazon, either in big companies. Even I'm working in Thomson Reuters, but yeah. So at that point of time, the main, whenever the you're working for the first 3 years in your college life, first year, second year, and third year. So whenever you are working, core subjects are more important, and then side by side a projects, basically either on the web development, whatever interests you. It's not a mandatory thing that you need to be doing Java or Angular or something, some technology. It's just what interests you and how much knowledge you have. When you created a project, so when you put it in your resume, interview always asks you, because you are a freshie. Even though interview still asks me, but you are a freshie, so there will be one round that it will be go on the project round. What have you done so far? So if you can explain that project so easily that yeah, I have built it this, I've done this, whether it's a basic functionality or the complex functionality, it depends on you. But you know the deeper knowledge, you can crack very easily. So that's the journey. And then after third year, I got an internship at CAW Studios from college itself, and there I served my like 1.5 year, first 8 months of internship, and then full time, 6 months of full time, 6 or 7 months of full time. Then I switched to the different company.
Okay. It was a really great journey which you told. Like it's very big. Like when I heard what you were telling and the things which you did and you were trying to tell ki stay concentrate karo. That's very really great to hear because most of the time what happens that last year में आके realization होता है कि अब पढ़ना है right. So yeah, it was a bit different when you said that.
Yeah.
So, Bhupesh, you were talking about the core subjects, right? So,
Yeah.
for the core subject, like there is usually some confusion around students कि like कौन सी language पकड़े, right? So, how
Hmm.
you got to know about your language and उससे अपने preparation start?
So basically, I was good in like when initially I started my programming with C and C++. Now people, so I learned Java also, I learned Python also, and right now I'm from past 3 years I'm working in Python. But
Yeah.
so when I was preparing for interviews and when I was like doing the programming on my level to learning stuff, so I learned it using the C and C++. So basically,
Okay.
student can use any of the language Java, Python, or C++, whatever they like, whatever they have their hands on. But choose any one language because ultimately, when you go to the company, you don't know which language you are going to work with.
Okay.
You don't
Hmm.
know what tech stack you work with. You know
Correct.
React and you know Node.js. That's the tech stack. You might be doing 6 months of the thing from Node.js and React. Then you again need to learn, again need to adapt into that, into
Hmm.
different technology. So don't stuck on technologies or programming languages. Go for what you feel like it's easy or it's suitable for.
Okay. So as you told, you started with C and C++, right? So
Yeah.
you were also talking about the core subjects. तो कोर सब्जेक्ट में आपने कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क डीबीएमएस डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स के
Yeah.
बारे में बात किया था. सो कैन यू
Yeah.
जस्ट कट इट डाउन एंड पॉइंट बाय पॉइंट कैन यू सजेस्ट कि आपने क्या प्रिपरेशन में कौन सी चीजें पढ़ी थी, अगर आपको याद हो कि कौन से टॉपिक्स आपने रेफर किए थे, प्रिपेयर किए, सो the audience will get to know at least what was your journey and what were the topics which you prepared during your college core
So
subjects.
basically, yeah. So basically, if you go with the DB, so I must say, pick a programming language in first year and pick a data structure at least in a first year. So right now, the current, because data structure is the most important thing in the
Correct.
DBMS. So
Correct.
and try to, if you want to learn, you can learn on the internet and from ample amount of resources. But what I did, used the GFG course that Sandeep Jain sir taught. Okay,
हाँ
and
हाँ.
Cypher School have the, like in our college, Cypher School have done the workshops in that. So I used to attend that also, and so at that point of time, the basic thing, the data structures I talk about, array, linked list, stack, queue, that must be handy. Like handy
Okay.
means you should know that how these things are working, how the common problems are working.
Hmm.
Even though you can't implement the trees and graph, it's okay for the first and second year, but you can understand that how the trees are working, how the graph are working. So
Correct.
that's the basic common structure you should, like data structure you should know in your second year or in your first year of life, that your linked list, array, stack, queues, that these are the important things.
So these are the basic ones जो हर students को मतलब start करने के लिए they can
Yeah,
start from this.
they can
Okay.
start from array, that's the basic one for the data structures. You should know
Okay.
that, yeah, array, linked list, stack, queue. And
Okay.
once you have a good understanding in the, like in understanding the concepts that how these things work, you can go online on the different platforms like the
Yeah.
HackerRank
Hmm.
or the CodeShare, whatever you like it, however you feel it, just solve the questions. That's much needed. That will give you the more deeper knowledge that how actually things are working, how we can solve the problems using different data structures.
Okay. So can you tell the platforms जहाँ पे आपने ये सब चीजों का practice किया था, लेकिन usually people say कि lead code पे practice करो, so what have you done and what should be done, like what you will suggest to us?
So I started with the HackerRank because मेरे को वो सबसे easy लगता था. Like
Okay.
they have a lot of easy set of questions to build the
Okay.
confidence. That's for sure. So मैंने HackerRank शुरू किया था. I started with HackerRank. When the third year came by, I started preparing some of the questions on the lead code because lead code पे interview preparation बहुत अच्छा है.
Correct.
And if you want to go into the competitive programming, or if you want to go into the some things, like you can go with the Core Chef and Core Courses. So that's the core platform right now. At that time I was using, but right now I don't know a much platform about it. But yeah, Lead Code is the famous one for the interview preparation, at least.
Correct.
But for the basics, I think HackerRank is still a good one for the
Basic
basics.
starts करने के लिए that's good.
Yeah. So DB, every question you have got it there. So DB's question are there, so you can learn the DB about. So I can talk about DB about. So basically the joins, how the joins work, how the DB work, how the ER model works. So that's the basic topics. Whatever you are taught in college, the basic topics, you just need to understand and grasp on those things.
So as we were talking about data structure and where we should work, like किस कहाँ पे कौन से platforms है you suggested जहाँ पे काम करना चाहिए, work करना चाहिए, right? There is so much questions around this कि data structure करे या development करे. So how was your journey about this? Like कि पहले आपने data structure किया या फिर development पे ज़्यादा ध्यान दिया? How you deal with it, right? And
So
how you will suggest others?
I must suggest कि so I go by year and year what mistakes I did and what I tell people that yeah you can do that. So basically, so when you are in the first year, you can learn a bit more about the data structures, focus on the data structures, core subjects with the programming, whatever programming you like. And in the second year, when you are having a good hands on the data structures, just don't leave the data structure part behind.
Okay.
So just keep like give your 30 minutes or an hour in a day to solve one problem. Just that's it. So what I made a mistake. I learned the data structures in the college itself, and I left behind it. And then I did the development. Like I was into the Node.js, Django, and the like the Flutter, the new technologies coming into, and I'm going into the development of that to make the projects. I
To
made the
make them.
project, yeah, but I forgot the data structures. Then
Okay,
again,
for that.
I need to revise in my third year, that how to do that. So
Okay.
when you are
So,
out of practice, or when you are in not in like continuous learning of data structures or the core subjects, you will forget the things.
okay. So, as you were talking about कि मतलब आपसे छूट गया था data structure, how often did you do coding? Like क्या वो consistency के साथ होता था या फिर बीच बीच में छूट जाता था? What do you want to tell others कि कैसे करना चाहिए? क्या consistency matters during coding की practice करते हुए? So,
Yeah, consistency plays a lot of things, like plays a lot of role into
but
that.
but sometimes
Yeah,
what happens
आज
कि
शादी आ गई है,
इंसान
आज कुछ हो गया, आज मैं बीमार हो गया हूँ.
हाँ
That
actually
happens,
that
that
happens.
happens. So
Sometimes
it's
people get bored also. They can't solve the questions, so they'll be like, "अरे कर लेंगे." So for that.
It's okay. So it happens. It happens. When you feel like you are not keeping up with your performance, with your thing. यार मैं मतलब कल तो मैंने 2 क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर लिए थे, आज तो यार मुझसे एक कल 2 मीडियम क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर लिए थे, आज तो मुझसे एक ही नहीं हो रहा.
एक
Like
भी नहीं बोला.
so just try to. It's not like someone holding your gun कि तुझे आज ही सॉल्व कर. Try to look out for the solution. Try to keep it yourself कि हाँ खुद से solve करो. But if you're like feeling like कि हाँ बहुत ज़्यादा time consume हो रहा है, तो go and look for the solution. Go for break the question into the components. So let's suppose there is one question which requires a sorting of array. Try to learn sorting of array. That's the basic example. So that's the another thing. And if you were like keeping like the data structure is boring, getting boring, or first of all, it's never getting boring, but yeah, sometimes people get frustrated
People
like,
get.
yeah, how much time do I need to give or something like that. So try to learn the different subjects. Try to like for a week or for a like for 3 days you keep up with the DB or something else. Or you are doing with the development also. You need to continuously after second year or maybe in the second year, because third year is crucial. In the third year, ending of third year or in the mid of third year, the companies are coming into your placement
Campus.
thing. So you need to be handy with both the things. First thing is like data structure and the DB and the core subjects, and another thing is the development. So you need to have both of these into that. If you want to crack a good company, easily you can get in a third year of internship. Like, anywhere.
So consistency matters, right?
Consistency matters. Yeah.
So as you were talking about consistency, there is this thing कि कॉलेज में academics को और coding जो हमारा खुद का टाइम होता है उसे मैनेज आपने कैसे किया? How you were able to, because so many assignments, then internals and exams were there. How did you manage your time between academics and coding?
So first of all, when you you should get ahead of your curriculum. So the you know that in second year the data structure will be there. So learn it in the first year. You have a lot of time in your college life. Don't learn it in a one day. Learn it in the like 6 months of span. So small topic or not in the advanced way, just a basic way. So when the
Basic.
college time keeps up, like in the college, like you got this subject, you already know. You don't need to put the effort for that into the class or into that कि यार मेरे को इसके भी assignment बनाने हैं, वो भी करना है, वो भी करना है. It should be like कि हाँ मेरे को ये आता है, I can do that in one night. So I always go like whenever DSA like DSA, OS or DBMS, whatever subjects are, I already know because I learned it and I'm learning it with the classes also. So at that point of time, I like never studied before a lot before because I was attentive in the class and I have the notes handy. So I read it just the last time, the engineering thing, last time do it.
Last, oh, okay. All engineers can
Yeah,
relate.
all engineers. So yeah, last time thing.
Correct. Last time.
But
Right.
don't skip like in India, like here we have the mandate of 75%.
Yeah.
So don't just be regular in what you are doing. Whether you are picking
Correct.
for a development, so you develop the one project. So you should. So when you are like you develop the one project, when you pick up a one project. So many people, even I mistaken that thing. Right now, we developers or we people don't do that thing. We don't go on YouTube and learn the project. We go on the documentation. So even though it's a bit trickier, it's a bit tough for the college student to go into the documentation, but I must suggest we learn the basics of that framework, learn the basics of that how it's working. Because generally in interview, people ask that you created a project that solves this problem. Let's suppose you created one restaurant project, solve the restaurant billing counter. You use this technology. How this
Solve the
technology?
problem from that project. That's what we're
Yeah. So at least know a bit about it.
doing. As you were talking about projects, what was your first project?
Uh,
Like,
I,
if you want to,
I don't
or
remember my
what? Okay, okay.
first
What
project
was
is
this?
HTML5. Yeah, first project is HTML, CSS, and JS, the basic website I created for Atal Bihari Vajpayee. That's just a demo for a demo. I created it for my own curiosity. So that was my first project in my first year, like within a 6 months of time. And
First
then
year
after,
itself, you started creating projects.
yeah, so I was into the technology. I love to learn
Technology.
it.
Yeah, you told
Yeah,
earlier. Even.
yeah. So it's just so I learned it basically HTML, CSS, JS in the first year, and then I moved to the there is a one framework. So basically, rather than going with the framework, try to create a project using the language. So I
Okay.
had a project in when I was learning in the Java, so or I was learning in C++. I created
See.
basic Java restaurant like restaurant management system, library management system using Java or C++. So that I put it in the project in my like in a second year or third year resume because at that point of time I did not learn many frameworks like the Node.js, Django. But then after point of time I learned I think I learned the Flutter, which was for the Android app development, and then in the backend I learned a bit about Node.js. So that
Okay.
was my yeah, that was my two projects, and then in the third year I do have a machine learning, so I created one machine learning project.
Machine learning. You said
So
it. Yeah.
three, if I put it in my resume, till now three are there.
Okay, so
So
these three projects were there in your resume, which you mentioned, placements se
no,
pehle.
so initially at till that was till third year. Then after I continued creating the projects. So yeah, but I think the Flutter one and the Django one is still there, and I removed the JS1, like the JS1 and the HTML1, whatever side projects I have created. A lot of projects I have created, but I removed it. So basically, in the resume, it will look good. The three important projects, what you've done. I
Important
created,
projects.
yeah,
Hmm.
I
Okay,
created one
these were.
OS.
Hmm. Okay, you were saying something.
Yeah, so I created one OS project also, which solves the basically like which implements the round robin algorithm. That's a famous algorithm. Yeah. That was a pretty basic one at that point of time. But when you evolve, when you come into the third year, you should have at least three good projects where you mentioned your work.
But how many projects did you work on from first year till last? But as you were talking about so many projects, I was just a little bit
It's not a
curious
very
about.
big, it doesn't solve a very big complex problem.
But
It's just
still, like we did so.
project are way to learn. So I learned one programming language. Okay. You can create a basic simple program for that's not a project, that's a kind of simple program for like how the language is working, how your system is working. That's the basic one. I created basic one.
Basics.
When I came into the third year, the second year in or in mid of third year, like that time I created one big project which is e-commerce app using the Flutter. So that connects with the Firebase and that connects with the real-time data. That was my first project. That's a big project. And then again, second one is the ML one, which given me in the class that I mentioned in the resume. And third one is the OS. So three projects I mentioned.
Okay, so as you said, you prepared these many projects, you worked on these many projects, right? So resume में कितने projects mention करने चाहिए? Is it 3? Is it 4? Is it 5? Like according to you, how you said 3, but usually कैसे कितने करने चाहिए? Like अभी तक, if you
That,
इतना कुछ आपको पता है?
मैं अभी तक भी थ्री प्रोजेक्ट्स ही यूज करता हूँ. ठीक है,
3.
from the
Okay.
start. Yeah, that's the because uh, right now I do have a bigger work experience. Like when you
Correct.
I read the work experience also. When you don't have the work experience, you can mention till four, but you should
Okay.
not go beyond four or beyond three. Like beyond three, three is the good number because you can pitch two big projects that you have done in these fields, in two different fields. One is the small one for just when interview asks the questions. Because the number of projects you mentioned into your resume, the more the interviewer will ask. First thing is that, and you should have the more knowledge on all the four projects.
Interviewer does ask you from the projects what you
Yeah,
have made.
yeah, because it was a freshers interview.
Okay. हाँ, तो he will ask किस पे आपने काम किया है, and based on
Yeah,
that all the questions.
yeah.
So as we were talking about resume, right? जैसे कि हम लोगों ने प्रोजेक्ट्स का बात किया, तो there is एक सेक्शन होता है इसमें skills mention करते हैं, right? So usually what happens कि people mention so many skills. So what skills can a student or a fresher can mention in a resume, in an ideal fresher basic resume
So
skill set?
basically, the the technology, the frameworks, and the things you have learned so far, mention that will highlight your resume, whether it's problem solving, whether it's your project management skill, whether it's your product management skill, whatever skill you acquired, whatever you learned so far, mention that. And whatever, so don't fake or fake it when you when you feel like yeah ki, I don't know, I did not work much on this skill. Let's suppose I did not work Node.js on much, like I did not create two three projects, but I know the basics of it, so I can mention it because I want to mention it.
Okay. Okay. If
But
you know
whatever,
the
yeah,
if you know
whatever
the
you learn,
basics.
you can mention it. So at that time, I know the C++, C, and like Java. I mentioned the technology and I mentioned the problem solving, project management. That was I mentioned at the time.
Okay. So there is one more section in our resume, as a part in our resume, where we mention certificates. So did you do any certificates during your college wala time? And does certificate really matters? Resume में अगर हम mention करते हैं as a fresher?
Uh, Certificate will give you it's just give you the accomplishment that so whether like let's suppose you create you worked on the Node.js, okay, and
Okay.
okay, and you acquired some certificate from like let's suppose any of the website like the Udemy or something like that, or even in the college also. So there are a lot of certificates, there are a lot of events going on which provides the certificate. When you win the event, when you win the hackathon, that will show your accomplishment in your college period of time, that yeah you are in good in the project management. That certificate give you the credibility. So
Credibility.
yeah, certificate do matters. It will help your resume to like nourish.
Okay. Did you mention any?
Yeah, I mentioned at that period of time, even though I do have accomplishment in that, but certificates I don't have right now in the section because I don't have much space.
Now work experience is there.
Yeah, but at that time I mentioned it because I do have one like a 2 3 college certificate or Udemy certificate or the hackathon, whatever you go into the. I was member into one club into the college time that was called Google Student Developer Club.
Does joining the clubs or community it really matters? Like abhi current scenarios में there are so many communities where people join. So क्या वो really helpful होता है?
That is really helpful. First thing, so who people joins the club, the tech club, those who are interested in technology. So there are
Right.
a lot of discussion around going on. So you will never feel out boring, or you will never feel out left out from the industry. There
Okay.
are a lot of talks are
Updated.
going. Yeah, you will be updated, and when you meet, it will create a network for you. And when you meet a good amount of people there that are going in the same direction as you are going, so they will help you to grow.
Grow. Right.
Yeah.
There's one more curious question that we were talking about resumes, we were talking about the skill set में projects वगैरह everything we talked about. Right? So there's one more thing कि आजकल LinkedIn needs to be optimized a lot, right? People
Yeah.
do maintain their LinkedIn का profile. So
So,
while you were in college, did you have one LinkedIn का profile? बिल्कुल everything is mentioned, and does
yeah,
it matter nowadays?
this profile you have seen in, like, this is from my 2018 when I joined my college. Okay.
Okay.
At that time I was not active, literally not
Hmm.
active, like not much active. But yeah, if you have the updated LinkedIn, so that will give you the benefits for the, like, let's suppose you like one company called whatever, say Google. Let's suppose I take an example of Google, or let's suppose take an example of my company at Thomson Reuters. Okay, you can
Okay.
go to their careers page, and you like one of the profile. So if you have a
Hmm.
good LinkedIn profile that you showcase your work. Yeah,
Hmm.
I have worked on these things and I have knowledge on these things. You can reach out to me or someone else, and that people, if you found out that, yeah, LinkedIn is good, that particular individual have done a lot of things.
Hmm.
At least
Sure.
they will talk.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
at least they will talk. That will give you the building a good community. I know one of my junior. He have a more than 80,000 of LinkedIn people connected with him.
For
So
80,000. Very,
yeah, he's from LU,
yeah.
and like, yeah, I so it's great. Like right now, I'm not.
Very,
I also use it like a social media. So whenever you are scrolling about on Instagram, you can scroll about LinkedIn. So
absolutely.
that will give you the knowledge what's going on in industry and how people are doing such things, whether that's a cracking of an interview or building of some new products.
That's
That will,
also like a way to be like being
hmm,
updated. एक तरह से updated रहने का भी एक अच्छा तरीका है, right?
yeah,
Networking updated.
yeah,
So I guess our first phase of the interview preparation about your journey, how you prepared, is like done. So let's move forward to the another phase, जिसमें आपने अपना पहला interview दिया, and how was the interview, and how what were the technical interview में क्या क्या पूछा गया. So let's start with the कि which company जिसमें आपने पहला interview दिया था, क्या वो on campus था या off campus?
नहीं, at that point of time I got a lot of on campus ही, off campus इतना नहीं मिलता था क्योंकि the LinkedIn is not updated, or like we are not updated, and we are like there are a lot of on campus companies are coming into that, so we are participating into that. And so first company I don't remember actually, but I given and I rejected a lot of from a
Oh,
lot of companies. Yeah,
oh,
so I remember, so basically, when the company comes into the campus, there will be like 2 or 3 or 4 rounds, that depends on the company to company. But first round initially, that they will ask the data structure and algorithms, where that depends that company to company, from easy to hard, what level they will ask. Another round will be for your the core subjects, the DBMS, OS, the core subject, the basics of core subject. They will want to understand that what you have done in your past 3 years of your life. And the project round also sometimes includes into that, or another there will be another round for the project discussion, that what projects have you made and how did you work on these things, what problems you solved in your college life. So these are the three interview, and there is then a HR round.
okay. So
So when
these
I
were all three were technical interviews.
So yeah, basically these three are the technical interviews: the DSA round,
Okay.
the subject round, the project round. So there is fourth
Okay.
round, which is cultural fit taken by the HR.
हाँ अच्छा था.
Yeah. So the first, when I cracked the first company, that CAW Studios, it's a it's a product management company, it's a product engineering company, so kind of
Mhm.
service based, and but it's a good company. So it's a startup I joined into, so it's a on campus. So that came into the campus, and we have given, I think first is the test, the coding test happened.
Coding
Okay,
first.
yeah, coding test will happen. Then the second interview happened, in which again I got to ask about DSA and all the stuff. And
Mhm.
third interview happened with the senior manager or the tech leads or the CTO, whatever the person is. They will
Mhm.
understand your problem solving ability. They will understand your the core subject, the projects. They will take the cultural also sometimes. So that's the
Mhm.
third round, and the fourth I will got the offer from the HR.
Okay. So as you were talking about the technical round, right? So do you remember like what kind of, but not in depth, like कौन से तरह के क्वेश्चंस पूछे गए थे, लाइक डेटा स्ट्रक्चर के बारे में आपने बताया कि यू वर आस्क्ड अबाउट डेटा स्ट्रक्चर के क्वेश्चंस, सो डू यू रिमेंबर लाइक व्हाट काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस यू वर आस्क्ड फॉर द कंपनी?
So at that point of time, I remember uh, so they asked about the so like it's a variety of questions because it was a 2 hour of round, but I
ओके,
remember
2 hours.
yeah it stretched 2 hours, like it was 1 hour, like it was decided to 1 hour, but it stretched to 2 hours.
But it got stretched.
Yeah, it got stressed. So first question is like basics, like they started with the array, I think, because in a test also the first question came into the from 2D array, and second question came with the queue or yeah. So that there was two question in the test, and there was another questions in the interview. So interview are asked about the array, about the linked list, implementation of linked list. I
Hmm.
remember that the old linked list, how the deletion happens, how the core things happens, and then the stack queue, and then till event till tree. Yeah,
Okay, so you were talking about these only topics जब we were talking about data structure में क्या पढ़ना है, that's why you were talking about कि ये questions पहले prepare.
yeah, and there are a lot of algorithms which works on these data structures. So do go through these algorithms, because these algorithms will help you to solve a lot of questions.
Okay. So, as you, this is in the questions which you were talking about, was asked in second round of technical interview, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And when मतलब ऐसा कौन सा वाला राउंड था जब आपसे प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस पूछे गए, like what kind of questions, basic question, project related आपसे पूछे
Yeah,
गए?
so basic, let's suppose I created one e-commerce app. So they basically ask the functionalities, they basically ask the technology, that on which
हम्म,
technology, how I created it, what's the functionality, how I solve the problem, where did I get an issue that, yeah, I'm stuck there, and how did I solve the problem. So
okay,
these are the basic things.
problem,
They want to understand your capability and mentality to solving a problem.
problem solving skills,
Yeah. So basically, they want to understand how you debug that, how you
right?
crafted that, or like what's the end product, what you are trying to solve. So yeah, these are the things.
Okay. So, yeah, I guess my questions are like I got to know so many things from you, right? There are
Yeah.
few questions in our comment section. So, I'll display them one by one here, and please you can answer those questions, right? I'll begin. So, we have a question from Sinstar. Nowadays, there are lots of resources, and due to multiple resources, it's tough to stick one to one resource, and it become challenging to maintain consistency. Any one suggestion resource to prepare DSA?
So I must say, if you are a what we say, if you are like just started, or you are just a beginner into your DSA life, so go with the, like there is one GFG course which was taught by Sandeep Jain, data structure and algorithms, the fundamentals. Or you don't want to buy it, you want to go for a free one, you can. There are a lot of YouTubers which came into the picture, like Striver is the one which I used to follow, and so there are a lot of people. I don't remember the names because I don't do it right now. But there is one Anuj Bhaiya, and there is one Nishant. Nishant is good. Nishant Chahar. So
Mhm.
these people are good from the YouTube. so you can got to know. There was one YouTube which channel which I used to remember, and I still do it whenever I need to go to the basics. So that YouTube channel, I don't remember the name. I can post it here. So that gives the animation video of that how the data structure works. So if you want to do that. So yeah, these are the basic resources, but I started with that the GFG course. But if you want to free resources, you can go with the YouTube and on the like Striver playlist or someone's playlist.
I guess Sanskar got the answer. So there are few more questions. Okay, so Abhinav is asking CGPA matters.
Uh,
Okay, that time we were talking about like these things matters or not. So he's asking CGPA matter करता है क्या?
yeah,
कितना
CGPA it doesn't impact a lot in your off campus, but like on campus, what happened is like कि आपको बैठने नहीं देंगे good companies में. So if you have a good CGPA, you will get a chance कि you will get one step ahead कि हाँ मेरे को at least इस इंटरव्यू के लिए या Amazon के इंटरव्यू के लिए Amazon के लिए बैठने देंगे मुझे. So if you have
or
like
off
CGPA,
campus if someone is going so that time it doesn't make
so at
sense.
that time it depends on company to company. But if you have a good like link in off campus, the LinkedIn and the resume matters the most. Okay.
Matters the most. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have a good resume, good skills, good showcase skills, that you can beat the CGPA, then you don't need a CGPA at all.
मतलब college में it matters a lot क्योंकि
Resume
companies
matters.
आती हैं.
But decent CGPA like mine is till third year it was 7.8, 7.9, like 8 point overall CGPA mine is 8.1.
That is like I guess sufficient किसी भी company में enter होने के लिए 8 से ऊपर होता है. So maybe they allow students, but there is a criteria at the
Yeah, there
some
is a
colleges.
criteria that depends on company to company.
Correct, company to
Uh,
company.
yeah. But if we are going on an off campus, so I do have one suggestion to every student which is going to the off campus. Have a good LinkedIn. First thing is that never apply on an easy apply button if you are going for a big company. And if you're a fresher or even though if you're a student, don't go for it. That's a big scam. Yeah, that's good for startup because startup people do download your resume and do see that what you have done. But even in the big companies, try to make a connection and try to get a referral if you can, and try to
अगर
apply on using the career website rather than going to the LinkedIn or somewhere else. Go directly on the career website. Let's suppose you like the Expedia group, you like the Intuit, like this. So either you can ask for the referral if you have a good profile, or go to the career website if you're
so
going for
does
the off.
we got responses अगर career page पे जाके company का apply करते हो तो do we
It's
get
a, it's
responses?
it's all about your how you build your resume, how what's
That.
your luck. That matters a lot.
Any other ways or platforms apart from LinkedIn to apply अगर off campus जा रहे हैं?
So what I still do now, I recently switched the company. So there is one website called Y Combinator. Okay. So this website contains a lot of small scale startups which are going to be big. Y Combinator is a like platform we can say. So they get a grant or they get a funding through the Y Combinator. Okay, that's a
Okay.
group. Okay, and these companies do mention their job postings on that platform. So Y Combinator is another. There is one another well found, which was used to be Angel List.
Hmm.
So that have a lot of startup and the good companies there itself. So you can apply it from there, and you can get a. There is a maximum chances you can get it from there itself. I used to get a lot of calls using that these two platforms when I used to when I was hunting for the job.
Hmm.
So these two platforms are there. Another than that, I did not use the Naukri and the Indeed much, but people with experience do that. And there is one more platform. I don't remember the name exactly, uh, but there is one more platform. So there are different platforms. Yeah, the
Different.
CutShort is the one platform. CutShort is the one platform. So second job came in with my CutShort.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So there's one more question from Abhinav. yes, we get us assignment to make. Oh, he was just telling he also gets assignments to make websites while we were talking about making projects, right? So that time he
Yeah,
mentioned that.
you can mention that in your resume itself. If you feel like it's good, it really helped me to grow in these parameters, you can go ahead and you can put it in your resume. Uh, but yeah, it's a good thing.
People,
Start with the
people,
website, start with the thing. Yeah,
people
go
do
ahead.
make personal portfolios. Does it also count under your personal project?
Yeah.
Like if you want to
So
mention.
no, like you don't mention it like you just mention your link in your resume
Okay.
that I have
Mm-hmm.
created when you are giving an intro, you just say I have created one personal portfolio which look like this and
Mm-hmm.
which uses this technology. So I
Okay.
don't know whether people put it in the resume or not because I did not created one for myself.
You. Okay. Mm.
Yeah. So I don't comment on that, but yeah, it's a good thing where new resume to put it on the highlight when you're mentioning all the links and the GitHub links, LinkedIn links, and all the things.
Okay. I guess Abhinav को answer मिला होगा what he was asking about, right? So we have one more question from Sanskar. What's your POV point of view on recent Gemini IO and OpenAI announcement?
So I'm working on the OpenAI like GPT-4 models currently,
Oh, that's great.
uh, and it's really great. It's just another set of domain into the picture where we are developing different things rather than core development is going on. We are used to their help to develop on our own. So that's again a good thing. And if you can try, like give it a try, OpenAI or Gemini AI or whatever available LLM out there in the market, you can create a project, you can create a good
Mm,
project onto that, and that you can
mm,
mention it, and that will highlight your like in your resume that yeah you have
yes,
worked on this. Yeah, because right now it's a very booming topic and a lot
very
of new companies, new startup, and every company is going into that domain.
correct. Actually. As we were talking about Gemini and OpenAI,
Yeah,
nowadays what is happening? So, like anybody, not students,
yeah.
like everybody's going asking GPT or Gemini, मुझे code लिख के दो. So,
हाँ.
what do you think कि future में it's going to be like AI से हमारी jobs को खतरा होगा या फिर AI will be an advantage for us at
Yeah,
all?
jobs को already खतरा हुआ है. A lot of you have seen a lot of jobs went off, but the thing is you need to be updated.
Mm.
You need to know that you are more intelligent right now. You are more intelligent than AI, and AI won't do your code. AI won't do your all the things. The logics you should be you are the one who is creating logic for your according to your business requirement. But yeah, AI can help you while doing that. So I recently used the GitHub Copilot in our company in
हाँ
our
हाँ
domain.
हाँ.
So
Mm.
that helps to write the different documentation, different test cases, or I'm stuck with some key part of it. I can go and do that. But it won't write me a code key. Hey, like write me a code for this, this, this. It will do that, but you have to knowledge. You have to have knowledge of about that part of thing.
Yeah, actually, it's not going to be, as you said, the replacement of a job, but it can be an add-on or advantage for humans,
Yeah,
right? Because
it will.
nowadays it's all about AI everywhere. For every other domain, every other thing, you find AI is there. We will go to AI. AI is there. We will go to AI.
So right now, students have one more thing. Use leverage this thing. Try to frame a good question and ask with the AI and try to learn more. So people, I used to watch YouTube videos to learn. Okay, YouTube on the different articles. Used to read different articles or different videos. So that must be time consuming. If I want to know just the basics of,
Correct.
let's suppose
Mm,
normalization is the DB topic. So I can go to
mm,
the ChatGPT and give me a brief about the normalization, and that will give you
mm.
at least the theory part of it. So you
Theory.
can then later part of you can do the practicals, but yeah, theory part of it you can
Mm,
get good from the AI. So that
mm.
I want to say to the people.
AI is also suggesting resources also कि like जैसे YouTube videos जाके ढूंढना पड़ते थे आजकल, right? सो उसमें अगर
Yeah,
आप डालो कि सजेस्ट सम रिसोर्सेज लाइक यूट्यूब वीडियोस जो ज्यादा समझ में आता हो रिलेटेड डेटा, सो दैट आल्सो हेल्प्स आई गेस.
yeah, that also helps, but that
Depends.
depends on query to query.
Correct. Okay. So there's one more question from Nitesh. Could you help our audience that how your experience with projects and DSA knowledge helps you in doing current company's tasks? Okay.
So basically, people think like, okay, hey, learned the tree and I will implement in the tree. So that's not going to happen. No one is asking you to write a big algorithms. But
हाँ.
when you know the algorithms, when you know the DSA, when you are doing the company's task, you can get to know very easily which algorithm will fit into this particular solution, or which so you can tweak and you can modify and you can use that. Otherwise, what will happen when you don't learn it stuff from the basic? You will go googling and you will ask people around that how to do that, and you will or you will do the basic of it. So in a company, I would say the DSA knowledge is like just you have know the concepts. So basically, how does the caching work? So if you know like how does the like the pub system works, the different system works, or the system design part of it, you should know the queue, how the queue works, how the stack works. Then you can later point of time you can understand the how that why these big systems how they work.
So I guess Nitesh got the answer. So here, okay, there's no more questions in the comments, right?
Yeah.
So is there anything you want to suggest a student in this phase, in this tough situation, recession के time पे students are struggling to get jobs, getting placed, interview में nervousness वगैरह जो भी you want to tell, right? Any suggestion from your side to the student community or our audience?
So I'll just say, don't be afraid to go into the interview. Don't be afraid to apply on it. What right now, what is happening? A lot of people, I have seen that a lot of people are afraid to apply that. यार मेरा नंबर तो आएगा ही नहीं. They don't apply it at all. So just go for it. Apply it to whatever company you like. Try to maximize your chances using the like reaching out to recruiter, reaching out to the seniors, reaching out to your alumni who's working on that company particularly that can help you with the referral. Okay. And for the interview part, so when you fail in the interview, don't think like you fail in the interview because you can't crack every interview. You will fail some of the interviews to crack a good interview. So that's the basic of it, to learn what where you failed and again try to work on it and be consistent on it, because it's not like it's not a thing कि हाँ मैंने एक interview दिया I will crack it. That's a good thing if you cracked it, but don't lose hope and patience while doing that.
Correct. Actually, people do use it, like not
And there is one
everybody.
more thing. There is one more thing. Whenever you go for a off campus or like whatever you're doing, like let's suppose try to write an email rather than going on the LinkedIn or career website. If you get a recruiter's email, if you get your seniors alumni's email, try to write that. Hey, and frame a good email, like frame a good mail that hey, I showcase your abilities, showcase your with your resume. That I'm interested in this position. I like the company, what company is doing. So frame a good mail message. You can do it using the GPT itself, but don't copy it. Just don't copy it. Otherwise, everyone will get to know it. No one will give you on your like
Open it.
yeah, open it. So just that's the
Or
thing.
people like rephrase it. You can write in your own words, then you can rephrase and ask GPT to rephrase it. So it will just
Yeah,
improve the grammar. Right?
yeah, that will improve the grammar. That's it. But yeah, the basic thing is don't have a mistake in your resume. Uh, get a good I can give you the what I'm using right now, the resume. That's the Strivers one. They have their like on their website, on his website that's open. You can download the template and you can use the template of
What's the
that.
name?
Striver. There is one YouTuber
Hmm.
uh,
Okay.
who used to work in like a Google Washer now in Google Bangalore. I think.
Mm.
So he have
So,
uploaded the template of resume.
okay. So there are so many templates or like one or two, like on the
So
website.
if you have go to the, like, I'm from LPU, so I used to follow a lot of IIT people at that point of time, and I still follow. I like it. So at that point of time, I seen what they mentioning and what they doing. They keeping a resume very simple. It's just a
That very
one,
simple.
like, very
Yes.
simple, very sleek design. There is no design, there is no animation, there is no nothing. They are not wasting extra space on the resume. So so follow that.
It's for the
Follow the,
freshers only, right? What you're
yeah,
suggesting?
for the freshers only. You can use for the freshers also, or the experience also. You can tweak it now, like the way you want. It's just a template.
Okay. You should have a basic resume, right?
I still do that. I still do one thing. So whenever I like the company, I want to, like, right now I'm switching. I'm looking for a company. Find first. I find out what the company is doing, or I'm liking the company, what product, what technology key part, and what is the job role which is opening and what interests me. And then I go to the recruiters, like, list and the company's alumni list. Try to reach out to them. If you get an email and from anywhere, just email them. That will impact you a lot.
Okay.
Even you are in third year, at least try it.
Mhm. Try to do the mailing wala thing which you are telling, like start mailing the recruiters. Will help.
Because I
They'll
remember
refer it. Yeah.
I
It's good.
mailed in my, like, 2 years ago in one of the company, and after a year ago they opened a position, and I got a mail from the recruiter that, hey Bhupesh, we have opened this position if you are interested into that. That happened with me, and that was a
Really?
good thing. Yeah.
Wow.
At that point of time, they told me that they know they are not happy with my profile and everything, but
Okay.
after a point of time, they
So
reverted me back.
they really go through the old profiles which they have rejected and then they rescan it and they do that. Like,
Because a lot of company have the your resume data.
hmm, okay.
Your
So
and
that
some of the recruiters know about it.
hmm,
That, yeah, you have
correct
emailed them,
reached
you have
out. Hmm.
reached out, yeah, you have
Hmm.
contacted them.
Okay.
So
That's a
that will
great
happen.
advice actually. Where students will get to know these things. There are chances for them to get placed because
Just
usually
don't spam. I'm hearing it, but don't spam it.
instead write a good mail.
Yeah, still write a good way. So if you're in a fourth year, or if you have done the, like, internship, at that time the chances are more high to get your accepted mail, because you have done the internship, you have done the 6 months of work in some other company. But initially, if you want to join, try to on campus, and if you are trying on a off campus, have a good profile on LinkedIn and reach out to the LinkedIn alumni.
Correct. I agree. So you want to add anything else?
No, that's it from my side. If you have any question, last question on CSK and RCB.
Yeah, Sanskar is asking last
I
question.
did not. I will go and see the match now after that call. But
Okay.
yeah, but yeah, if anyone of the watching, anyone of need any help, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to the cyber school
Nah,
directly.
your profile is there. Like I've
Yeah,
already
man.
mentioned, yeah, it's there
Yeah,
in the मतलब इसमें अगर आप विंडो खोलेंगे for this LinkedIn Live, there is mentioned your profile is mentioned over there. Display details
yeah.
वाले part में, right? So if anybody want to reach out, Bhupesh, so he's there, right?
I've not
Thank.
updated my latest company, but yeah, that's,
But be updated on LinkedIn.
yeah, we updated on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bhupesh, for joining today. Right, it was a really great conversation which we had. अभी जितनी सारी बातें करी, and I got to know so much about you, about your journey, about how to prepare. I think कुछ ऐसी बातें जो आपने कही, कुछ ऐसे add-ons जो आपने बताए, which will really help students and audience who are looking for jobs or who want to become a software developer. Right. So thank you so
I,
much for all the suggestions and experiences what you have given through this live session.
I'm happy to help. And thank you so much for having me. I thought,
It's
like,
our it's our pleasure.
if any one of the student like follow this advice and reach out somewhere, it will be feel good that yeah, someone have listened to me and reach out somewhere.
No, it feels good. It really feels good. Our alumni are placed and they are helping the juniors, the student community, right, who are facing a lot during this. And that's the reason behind starting the live sessions, right? That's the only
Yeah,
reasons why we started this, to let know students about the current situation and how to deal with it, and how the alumni or the seniors dealt with it, right? That's the whole point of these live sessions, which we are usually conducting mostly हर Saturdays होता है, हर weekends पे we usually conduct these sessions. So yeah, everyone please join. अगर लगे
I
कि you
think
can get some tips.
I think whoever joined this today's session, na, they are like they really want to learn and go somewhere because they missed the match, 1 hour match, CSK and
Actually,
RCB. That's the important, like that's a
that's a
very most
very,
important. Yeah,
हाँ आज का मैच इज लाइक सबको देखना है.
yeah, सबको देखना है.
It
So
was a
yeah,
very
thank you so
great.
much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bhupesh, for joining today. Hope to get do more sessions with you in the future.
Definitely, I would love to.
Yeah, thank you, Bhupesh. Bye.
Bye.
So thank you so much, everyone, for joining today in this live session. And in case अगर आपने miss कर दिया हो, कोई questions आपसे छूट गया हो, तो no worries, you can join our community and you can drop the questions over there, right? And do follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and every other social media, because we usually conduct YouTube पर भी we usually conduct live webinars, workshops from mentors, from alumni, for every other industry experts, right? So do follow us to stay updated and get more knowledge and ask more curious questions. And yeah, do drop us your feedback, community pay, right? We'll be happy to hear the feedback from you guys, right? So thank you so much for joining today, and stay tuned because we are coming up with more live sessions. So yeah, stay tuned and come up with more questions, curious questions. Thank you so much for joining today.